Now available in paperback and e-readers. John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes, 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. A Mesquite high school student was sexually assaulted in a bathroom by her ex-boyfriend who snuck onto the high school's campus.
Police records describe with graphic detail how a 19-year-old man got past security and sexually attacked his ex-girlfriend at her high school. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager.
And I'm Heather Hayes. Mesquite police say the victim's mother told officers her daughter was in danger just hours before that attack. Fox 4's Alex Boyer is live in Mesquite with more on the investigation. Alex.
Hey guys, and according to an arrest warrant affidavit, the victim's mother went to the Mesquite Police Department in person just prior to the attack to report that the suspect had been harassing her daughter and had threatened to show up at her daughter's school. After that, she even went to the school to let school resource officers know in person. It was Tuesday afternoon when Mesquite police say 19-year-old Sinias Elijah was able to bypass security at Horn High School and sexually assault his ex-girlfriend in a school restroom. Despite heightened attention on school security across Texas, police say a student at Horn let Elijah into the secure building.
And you just need one individual to have nefarious intentions to have the ability to access that vulnerable spot. And in they'll get in.
Dr. Alex Picaro is a criminologist not involved in this case. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, Elijah, who was dressed in all black and wore a hoodie over his head, encountered the victim in the hallway. The report states Elijah slapped her on the face, causing her headphones to get knocked to the ground, produced a kitchen knife, and said he was going to stab her, and choked her by placing one of his hands around her neck. Those details were confirmed in surveillance video recorded by school cameras. The video cuts off when the two enter a bathroom where the victim said Elijah allegedly sexually assaulted her before taking off.
It is a very rare occurrence, but it is the reason for those procedures and protocols and why students need to make sure they follow them.
Lieutenant Michael Kelly says there are 2 designated entrance points at the school, adding that the student let Elijah in through a locked exterior door. Elijah was arrested at his home in Seagoville. State lawmakers have made school safety a top priority in response to the deadly mass school shooting in Uvalde. Legislation passed last year created the requirement for an armed security guard to be present on all campuses and silent panic alarms to be installed in classrooms, among other security enhancements. At Mesquite Horn, police say 3 officers are always assigned to the campus, but experts say this incident is an example of how even the best security plans aren't foolproof.
All those plans are worthless when a person takes actions that allow opportunities to get into the school that are not accounted for in the security plan.
And in a letter sent home to parents, the school district stated that the student who let Elijah into the building is being disciplined, but would not elaborate, citing student privacy laws. I can tell you that there is a school board meeting tonight. We, of course, will monitor it and let you know of any developments that may come of that.
Now, in this alleged incident that took place at Mesquite High School in Texas, 19-year-old Shanae Elijah allegedly wanted to go out and harass his ex-girlfriend, and he came to the school and was let into the secure campus through a side door by another student who knew him. And as he went onto the campus, he had a confrontation with his ex-girlfriend, who was a student at the school. And as he had this confrontation, which turned into an altercation, he allegedly pulled a butcher knife. And after pulling this butcher knife, he allegedly led his ex-girlfriend into a bathroom at Mesquite High School, where he allegedly assaulted her and violated her. And after violating his ex-girlfriend, she then wound up contacting law enforcement, and law enforcement soon found this young man and wound up arresting Shanae, Elijah, and taking him into custody. Now, the police in Mesquite, Texas, see this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the alleged behavior that Shanae, Elijah, allegedly participated in, it definitely fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis, and it also fits the pattern and profile for simps that I talk about in my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance. And it's clear to me that Shanae, Elijah, is one of these beta males who has a problem with not understanding what boundaries are, because after his ex-girlfriend basically told him the relationship was over, he could not accept that the relationship was over and looked to change the relationship from an amicable one to an adversarial one. And as he looked to change that relationship from an amicable one to an adversarial one, he then started participating in antisocial behavior, such as looking to stalk and harass his ex-girlfriend, and then further escalated his behavior from that type of criminal behavior to participating in a sex crime, all because basically this beta male was caught up in his emotions regarding this girl. And as he was caught up in his emotions regarding this girl, sadly, he did not think about more important things, such as his intangibles of manhood, such as his dignity, his self-respect, and his freedom. No, he put getting the attention of this girl who had broken up with him above these things that a man needs in order to be able to survive in the world. And that's possibly because this guy was possibly raised in a dysfunctional household where he was not taught the proper male life skills or male survival skills or coping skills as related to life, because in order for a man to be able to function, he has to know how to, again, navigate through his emotions through a period such as a breakup, and navigate through his emotions where, yes, he has feelings of hurt and pain over this woman winding up looking to end a relationship, or in the case of this girl, looking to end a relationship, but understand that life goes on, and as life goes on, you cannot go out here and act on impulses as related to your feelings of anger about this woman or this girl ending a relationship, and understand that in life, yes, girls are going to reject you, and even if you have a relationship with them, sometimes things don't work out. But because things don't work out doesn't mean that you can go out here and fall completely apart. But what happened here with this guy, Shanae, Elijah, is he wound up participating in the kind of behavior that beta males participate in when relationships don't work. When these simps basically see a relationship not working, they start to take it personal, and they really take it personal because, again, they're raised in single mother households in some cases, and because they're raised in single mother households, they take it personal when a woman rejects them or a girl rejects them, because they look to girls and women for leadership, and because they look to women and girls for leadership, what happens is they feel like they are somewhat worthless when the girl rejects them, and that makes them feel like they have a right to go out here and feel justified in destroying that girl's life for rejecting them. And what happens with these men is, again, they don't know how to work through their feelings, and since they don't know how to work through their feelings, this is where they start to escalate their behavior into antisocial behavior, because healthy men understand that when it comes to relationships, there are boundaries that you're not supposed to cross. And when a girl basically says she's not interested in having a relationship with you, this is where you have to suck it up as a man, and you have to suck it up as a man and put a period at the end of things. You have to put a period at the end of things and say, hey, this relationship did not work, and if things did not work between that man and that woman, then I have to move on. And that's what healthy men do. Yes, we do go through a lot of pain as related to being a relationship ending, but the whole thing is men go out here and deal with that in private and process their feelings. And after we wind up processing our feelings, we understand that, yeah, that relationship didn't work out, and we look to move on to the next person. And we look to move on to the next person because we understand that in the whole social marketplace, there are 4 women for every one man. And with there being 4 women for every one man, there's an option for another woman right around the corner. If one girl decides she's not into you, there's more than one other one out there that's into you. And you have to be able to put yourself in a place where you can get out here and get involved with that other girl who's interested in you, instead of sitting here dwelling on that one that didn't want anything to do with you. And what sadly happens to many beta males is that they wind up sitting there dwelling on the girl who didn't want them. And as they sit there dwelling on that girl, what happens is these guys wind up fixating on this one girl and looking to, again, keep the relationship going. And since they can't keep it amicable, what they do is turn it adversarial. And as they turn it adversarial, this is where they start participating in these antisocial behaviors, such as making phone calls and harassing the girl, or sending her floods of text messages, or going to places where she is, thinking that this behavior, again, is behavior that's something that they should do. But the whole thing is, this behavior is stalking and harassing. And that's what the mother was concerned about as related to her daughter. She was concerned about this guy's, again, continuing antisocial behavior, and hoped to, again, alert the school, and thought school would be a safe place for her daughter. She thought that the school would be a safe place for her daughter because the school had tight security. Unfortunately, what happened here is that this beta male's obsession wound up being able to break through and breach the security, because when you're dealing with beta male simps, especially power and psycho simps, will sit there and study an environment and look to, in some cases, manipulate people in order to be able to get access to the people they want to go out here and torment. And that's basically what happened here with Sinage Elijah. He was looking to go out here and look to manipulate people so he could torment this girl. And possibly what he did was go out here, run up on one of the homies that was going to school with this girl, chatted this dude up, and persuaded him to go out and open that side door, a side door that would allow him access to the girl he basically was objectifying, because his relationship really wasn't a healthy relationship. No, when it comes to beta males, they don't really have relationships with people because they live in a rose-colored reality. And as they live in a rose-colored reality, they basically are wanting to have their world smooth. And when their world isn't smooth, what they do is enter a place where I call the secret world. And in that secret world, this is the place where they feel secure about their natural masculinity and natural sexuality. But sadly, in that environment, it's an antisocial environment. And this is where they start to further objectify the person, because these beta males never have a relationship with a person, because people who have relationships with each other regard the other person's feelings, regard the other person's personal space, respect the other person. But beta males don't respect people because they are objects in their lives. And since they are objects in their lives, they believe that because they're detached from that person, they have a right to do harm to that person, because that person had the audacity to have differing thoughts and differences of opinion. They have the audacity to just be a human being. And that really upsets beta males, because they want to live in a smooth world where everything is going their way. And when somebody goes out here and disagrees with them over something really trivial, such as saying you don't like a certain team like the Dallas Cowboys, these people will just get triggered and start to hate you and take it personal. And in the case of a beta male, in a breakup, this is where a beta male becomes extremely dangerous, because this is where the simp starts to go from being a simp who basically was looking to spend money to get the attention and approval of a woman, to possessing a woman in a relationship, to that possessiveness turning into an obsession, and that obsession basically leading to these men looking to violate boundaries as related to the girl's personal space, and then further escalating that to criminal behavior. And as they escalate that to criminal behavior, they feel justified to hurt that person and hurt that person the way they feel hurt. This is what the beta male believes is their right to do, because this girl had the audacity to break up with him. He felt he wanted to go out here and violate this girl and take away her body from herself. And take away her personal safety and personal space. That's what this beta male wanted to do, as he slipped through the side door and breached that security to go look to find this girl and look to break her body and take her body away from her, take away her personal space. That's what this beta male wanted to do, as he looked to violate this girl. And after winding up violating this girl, this is what he did to sate his feelings for the moment, because with the beta male, they only do things to sate their feelings for a moment, but never think critically about how their actions are going to have consequences later on in the future. And sadly, with this 19-year-old man, he wound up destroying his entire life for a moment to gratify his feelings. And as he wound up gratifying his feelings, he put himself on the road to participating in a sex crime, a serious felony, and a felony against a minor. And after he participated in this felony against a minor, he went from being a free man dealing with a breakup to winding up an inmate in the in the county jail. As related to Mesquite, he wound up in the Mesquite County Jail, and now is on the road, if he does get convicted of participating in this heinous sex crime that happened on that school campus. He is now on the road to possibly going to prison for an extended period of time, where after violating this girl, he will now have to dealing with the authority and order of the COs, who are going to set a hard boundary for him inside the penitentiary, as he's going to have to deal with the social pecking order of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles. And as he's in that penitentiary with Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles, he is going to have to deal with these men looking to break boundaries and possibly wind up violating him in his front side and his backside, as they trade him for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, Taster's Choice coffee, off-brand lemon lime drink, off-brand grape drink, off-brand fruit punch, off-brand orange drink, off-brand apple juice, off-brand fruit punch, Hunt's snack pack puddings, Fritos chips, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand ginger snaps, off-brand lemon cookies, and other parts of the commissary like Kit Kat candy bars, prison chips, Fritos chips, beef summer sausage, jalapeno peppers, packets of Velveeta cheese, and other parts of the commissary. And as he's basically traded, as they look to make a brick and trade him for bricks, he's going to have to deal with being violated with sausages in the front side and the back side, and look there with terror as Mr. Sprinkles rolls up and sprays his front side and back side with special sauce, and then calls all the dudes from Cell Block D to check out his backside as he splits the cheeks open and shows his backside looking like the inside of a Louisiana crunch cake. And that's where this 19-year-old young man will rue the day he went and had this idea to go on campus to destroy the life of his ex-girlfriend. He will rue the day because as he's being humiliated and destroyed inside of that penitentiary for an extended period of time, he will realize that it would have been better to sit down and basically process his feelings over this breakup, and after processing his feelings, accept that this girl basically was not the one for him, charge her to the game, and keep it moving. That's what this young man will finally realize as he's spending best years of his life in the penitentiary, because you can't get time back. This is something I talk about in depth in my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance. You don't want to fixate on a girl or a woman because you are wasting time out of your life. And this guy at 19 years old is going to lose the best years of his youth, all because he was in his feelings and couldn't process those feelings, because he didn't have a man in his life to tell him that breakups are a part of life. And if a girl breaks up with you, you're actually in a better position. You're in a better position because you've gotten a little bit of experience about girls. And as you've got this experience about girls, you're in a place where, yeah, she let you go. Okay, she let you go, but now you're a free agent, and now you can go out here and step to other girls and possibly maybe find somebody who's better for you. You got to see it like, okay, she ain't into me, so there's somebody else. And if there's opportunity to get with somebody else, then I can go out here and be with the one who wants to be with me and spend time with the one who wants to be with me and have the girlfriend that wants to be with me, rather than have to sit in a penitentiary and be the boyfriend and be the one who gets his hair braided after, again, getting the advances of these guys, again, going out here and trading the backside or giving you a spit roast. I mean, this is the fate that this guy is going to suffer. Again, he's missing out on the chance to be a man and have a great lady because he decided to become a man in crisis due to him not having that advice from a man to tell him about breakups and tell him how to navigate and deal with breakups and rejection. I mean, rejection, again, and breakups are a part of life, but sadly many simps can't process or deal with the emotions regarding those situations. And because they can't deal or process the emotions regarding those situations, what these men do is put themselves in jeopardy by, again, compromising their dignity by going out here and looking to go after someone who doesn't want them, because a dignity is your sense of worth. And again, you lower your sense of worth by going out here and trying to go after women who no longer want you. Lose your self-respect because you don't respect yourself enough to say, if someone doesn't want you, then you let them go, and jeopardizing your freedom by going after someone who doesn't want you. And again, you're putting your freedom at risk. This is the stuff that beta males do that puts them in a place where they go from being free men with all the opportunities in the world to winding up men in crisis inside of a penitentiary. This is what happens to these men because they don't understand the importance of a man's freedom. They don't understand that one of the things you need to value the most is your freedom, and getting back at a girl who doesn't want you isn't worth sacrificing your freedom for. That's what these guys really don't understand. They don't understand this at all, and as a result, they wind up putting their whole lives in a place where they go from, again, being men with all the potential in the world to winding up becoming men in crisis. Now, if you want to learn how to identify the behavior of a simp and how to break out of the paradigm of a simp where you wind up getting taken advantage of or you wind up jamming yourself up, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can also find that book at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to learn how to identify the behavior of a beta male and break out of the paradigm and pattern of beta male behavior, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me make more videos about The Man Crisis and try to help more men try to break out of this dysfunctional pattern of beta male behavior, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback at e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.